We wanted to ask you about, we didn't get to talk about it last time.
The hacker module.
Yeah, the hacker cycle. Very interesting.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's a little anticlimactic, I have to say. Because we call it hacker, it's not really learning to hack. It's basically just learning how to use no-code tools. The days of coding are pretty much gone, especially with AI. So it's not as fancy as it sounds, that's for sure.
Tech isn't going away, right? We've seen how much companies have dumped into AI infrastructure, and I think right now it's at a kind of maybe a plateau until some of the energy infrastructure catches back up, but it's not going anywhere. And so if you start now, you're going to grow with it and you're going to understand it a lot better and make your life easier. You know, who knows, in 10 years you might have a Jarvis style assistant living in your home that can help you build whatever you need. So it may sound the hacker platform may sound anticlimactic, but I think it's going to be one of the most valuable skills moving forward as far as your personal freedom and being able to do some of the tech things that you want to do.
You need to learn it or get run over by it, basically.
I wanted to ask you guys, I was thinking about it before we talked. I wanted to ask you guys, what are some of the skills that you guys would learn in the context of today's world with things being more dangerous? Because I was thinking about it recently because my dad got robbed in Brazil a couple of days ago. And I'm starting to notice a lot more that, yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
They just grabbed his phone off a motorcycle from him. But a lot of these things are starting to happen more in the US. I don't know if you guys are seeing that yourselves. I wanted to ask about that as well. But
Not
in the
really.
context of a more, no?
No, not really.
You hear it on the news. We don't in Rapid City see it, but obviously it's
We're in a little
picking up.
bubble here.
Yeah, we're in a bubble, but it does happen. You do hear about it, either through other people. But what were you going to say? What skills? What was the rest of that question?
What in the context of a ever more dangerous world, what skills would you guys want to learn?
Big one, I would say survival. Being able, if the power goes out and you didn't go grocery shopping for your 27 rolls of toilet paper, can you go out and find some food and cook it and, heat things like that? I think that's big out here. Preppers are a big one.
Yeah, I think just a little course on general preparation would be good for anybody and everybody, like the internet grid. And there's so many things that our society's so vulnerable. It feels like we're just riding this tightrope. And if we fall off at all, it could be madness. So people should just have somewhat of a plan, or maybe that's a cycle, like general preppership, like, hey, have a couple weeks of food, have a way to filter water, have a way to
know how to make petroleum,
communicate with whatever, have a little bit of a plan.
We mess around with that. We do some mesh-tastic stuff and offline comms, and it's fun. Another skill, I think, it's maybe not directly correlated to the world becoming a little more dangerous, but I think if there was a cycle or a course that really helped people with troubleshooting and critical thinking, I think that is such a valuable skill that I got to learn doing avionics on CH-53s. Is you have to look at a whole system and be able to work your way backwards and understand different components and how to fix them. Man, that just has paid off so much later on in life. As I encounter problems, I treat it like troubleshooting. What's the real root issues, or some people will call it like first principles thinking. If you can get your mind to look at things differently, you're going to be more creative. You're going to solve a lot more problems, and you're going to be a great asset.
Yeah. As a business owner, if I had to pick one skill for somebody to have, it'd be just problem solver.
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
solving problems. Like,
that's what my dad says too. He
yeah,
says, I'm an expert problem solver.
Yep.
That's his title.
maybe you don't know
Yeah,
how to fix what's wrong with the vehicle. If you do, that's awesome. But you can figure out how to get it fixed.
hmm
So that's what I'm looking
sure.
for.
Gotcha. And I saw, I can't remember if it was the Minuteman Instagram or TJM Instagram account, but it was a couple months ago. I think you guys were doing some CQB drills. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was
Uh,
that?
our friends own an ammo company called Brass Kisses, and we were just kind of being extras in some of their content. So, but
Still got
Okay.
to learn for us. Like,
yeah,
I was aviation, you were
we
chem
learned.
warfare, but
Yeah, we got to learn some stuff, have some fun.
be silly.
Sure.
Yeah. So
That's a great skill. I've just seen a few videos on it. There's so much more that goes into it than you'd originally think.
yeah,
Well, and maybe just a simple version of that for a cycle would be shooting. If
yeah,
I think Tyler and I take it for granted because the military, we learn to shoot, but
grew up
most
hunting.
people, yeah,
Yeah,
most people don't. So go find a shooting course, learn how to handle different kinds of weapons, whether it is for hunting or personal defense, or it's just a good skill to have. For me, going out and shooting is kind of a almost therapeutic, right?
yeah.
You can have a bad day and go out and shoot some steel targets and blow out some tannerite, and you get done, and it's just a nice sigh of relief. So
Teach people to not be afraid of guns. Like, there's people out there that if one was in the room with them, they're uncomfortable. Maybe just a basic on how to pick it up, unload it, make it safe. So
Yep.
it's not going to
Yeah.
bite you.
Super easy skill to learn. Builds a lot of confidence.
For sure.
What's next for you in the preparation, kind of leading into January here? What are your next things you're looking forward to, or maybe not looking forward to? We don't always get to do the things we want.
That's true that. I am looking forward to what's coming next because the entrepreneurship cycle is going to end at the end of this month, and on the 28th, I'll be going to Japan for a few weeks before I head to Thailand. And I'll be doing the fighter cycle, training Muay Thai for about 2 months. I guess it depends on when the REMS course is, because I'd like to go to that. So I might
Yeah.
cut it a little short to make it there. But it'll be about 2 months, and it's training twice a day for 2 hours. So 4 hours total each day, 6 times a week. So it's going to be intense. And I contacted the training camp to ask if they host any fights, and they said there's 5 stadiums within
Oh yeah.
the vicinity of the training camp. So once you're ready, once our trainers think you're ready, you can step into the ring and actually do a fight.
Damn,
So I'm
that's
looking
gonna be
forward to
fun.
that. I'd like to, yeah.
that's
It would be
cool.
pretty cool. I'd like to be in shape for that.
That one's been on my list. It'd be fun to spend 2-3 months in Thailand and go have a few fights.
And you're living abroad,
Yeah, I mean,
which is awesome for your
100%.
development as
And
a man.
yeah, and it's going to be nice because it's cheap there too.
Hell yeah.
And good food.
Yeah.
Such good food.
Right.
You're going to get jacked, dude.
I hope so. That's kind of the plan. I feel like I kind of fell to the wayside for the majority of this year, so I'd like to get back to it.
Get broken off. Are you gonna do anything fun? And so you're stopping in Japan for a little bit. Anything fun there? I've never been. Tyler has, but
Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk off camera about where you're going and what to do. But yeah,
For
do you
sure.
have anything picked out?
Nothing specific. Going with my girlfriend. She's half Japanese and her family's there, so I'll
Oh,
visit
wow.
them. But I think we're gonna go to Hokkaido, all the way up north, and maybe do a little skiing,
oh,
which
nice.
would be crazy.
Hell yeah.
World class
I don't
skiing
know.
there.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, apparently. It'll be cool. So that's what's coming next with the program, and the fighter cycles the next thing, and then throughout the year, I'm not 100% sure yet,
Mhm.
but I think especially as I'm starting to see the world become more dangerous, at least
Volatile, yeah.
from what I see. And every time I go back to the States, I'm always going back to Denver, and it feels more dangerous every time I go. So it's very fitting to me to start the fighter cycle then, just because I think you need to be a lot more physically dangerous and aggressive going into the future.
Yeah. And having the
I think,
confidence to protect yourself.
More capable. But
yeah,
so
for sure.
when was the book released? How's it doing? I know I listened to your dad's podcast, so I heard some impressive numbers on how this book is getting out there to people.
Yeah, it's doing all right. I mean, it's hard to tell because none of us, except for Doug, have ever released a book, and I don't think Doug ever tracked the numbers when he released it. So we've sold to date about 15,000 copies
Nice.
since August 18th. And I think that's good. I'm not quite sure. But our marketing has been very poor. It's just basically been, using my Substack list, my dad's Substack list, and then Doug Casey's take on YouTube. And I guess a few interviews, like the Glenn Beck one was huge. That has, I think, 250,000 views now.
Wow.
So that helped. But in the future, especially as my dad has more free time, one of our plans is to do some more marketing on it, because our number that we have in mind is 50,000 books sold. That would make us satisfied. And I think that's doable. We just need a plan to get it out there.
Well, I'm gonna
especially as
butcher,
independent publishers.
I'll butcher the statistic, but on your dad's show, he was saying, or on Doug Casey's take, your dad, the host, was saying that you've sold 15,000, but every year there's 58,000 books published or something, and like only 5% of them sell 4,000 copies in their lifetime. So
Yeah.
I probably fucked up the numbers there somewhere, but something like that. You guys have already sold 15,000, so that's cool.
Right. So yeah, I can't remember the numbers exactly either, but it's a insane amount of books get published each year, like you said, and nothing comes from it.
And I think the last time,
I think it's.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to semi-pivot and say, I think the last time you guys were talking about potentially another book, kind of a preparation, but for females. And so it's cool that you guys are learning from this, and it'll be cool to see what you do differently. Obviously, those channels for marketing that you're currently using are great and they're well established. But yeah, being hungry for 50K, that's what it's all about, you know? It's not about the bare minimum or what everyone else does. It's what do you want to do and push yourself towards that goal.
It's almost Christmas, folks. So if you do know a young man in your life who doesn't quite know what he's going to do, or, you know, maybe this person's on the track to go to college, you want to offer them an opportunity, go to Amazon.com and then stuff that in their stocking. So
yeah,
if you can get it in there, you might have to put it on the mantle or something. It's a little too bulky.
It's a big book, beautiful book.
Yeah.
One of the modules.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just to follow up with the girls' book thing. That is another thing. Actually, my sister's gonna be the guinea pig for that, we think. So that'll be the next thing.
Is she nervous, excited? Have you brainstormed and talked about it with her?
She's nervous about it because, I think she's much better with people than I was when I started the preparation. And she's much better than I am in a lot of ways, but still she's kind of at that same spot where, just to be frank, she doesn't have any notable accomplishments thus far. So
as
starting
most
from
people don't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a big task.
And coming up with probably different cycles, I'm sure there are, I don't know, I'd have to sit down and think, but there's probably certain cycles that are more beneficial for females than males and vice versa. And so sitting down and figuring those out and then going through and committing on them are fucking tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want her going to Thailand getting punched in the face.
Hey, maybe
That's
she
definitely
liked
one
it.
we'd knock off.
Maybe. I mean, personal defense for females is right up there with anyone else. Like,
Yeah.
you
That's true.
rely on yourself and knowing that you can throw a punch and understand what it's like to get hit in the face. You don't ever want it to happen, but when you're comfortable, again, I always say comfortable being uncomfortable, whatever the situation, it might be beneficial. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Women do need to learn some basic self-defense too.
Mhm.
Some moderate levels of grappling and striking,
Absolutely.
no doubt.
How to get away.
Yeah.
You don't need to, that your little keychain, your cat face keychain ring is great, but if you struggle to put it on your fingers and you don't know how to throw a punch, you're literally just gonna be scratching someone.
Yeah.
Or if someone comes up behind you, like, yeah, there's a lot of benefits there. And maybe it's not Muay Thai, right? Maybe it's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's the same fighter, but there's just different kinds of fighting, and each
Yeah.
have their own benefit.
Should always have that. And if they want, they should have a course for carrying a handgun. Women have the luxury of getting to carry this super big bag that you can fit all sorts of goodies in. And if you're interested, one of those could be a gun. So you should know how to use it if you live somewhere that you can
Yeah.
and you're interested in protecting yourself. So, but we wanted to ask you about, we didn't get to talk about it last time.
The hacker module.
Yeah, the hacker cycle. One of the cycles is called hacker. Very interesting.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's a little anticlimactic, I have to say. Because we call it hacker. It's not really learning to hack. It's basically still learning something very valuable, especially when building a business. It's basically just learning how to use no-code tools. The days of coding are pretty much gone, especially with AI. So the hacker cycle is basically just about learning one of, I think, 3 or 5 different no-code programs that we have in the book, and being able to use that to much more easily build any kind of website or
Tool.
or program or app.
Yep.
So it's not as fancy as it sounds, that's for sure. But
it could be
it's
a
still very
business.
valuable.
I mean, watching Brennan's a wizard with that type of stuff, and I'm clueless, and I own a business, and I need what he does. So he could take that his own way and do something with it for sure.
And like you said, it's the no code platforms. It can be hard to figure out what problem you're trying to solve, but when you can build your website, build your software, build whatever by using natural language, it's pretty minimal like domain expertise, right? When I started no code for the Journeyman, AI was still pretty new and limited in capabilities. And it was more of a Wix drag and drop. It wasn't Wix, it was Flutterflow, but pretty basic. And now 2 years later, I just built an entire website, a custom CRM with AI analytics, an Intel Hub, like a very personalized niche app for our app, essentially, in about a week. Like I maybe only put 100 or so hours into it, and it cost me, $40 in AI credits. And now we have exactly what we needed, rather than me going to HubSpot, paying for their service to get a semi-okay website and decent SEO, but not all this other shit that we kind of wanted to make our lives easier as business.
Yeah,
So
you made our business better by it. And if you were a young kid, you could and learn this stuff. You could approach a business owner who maybe is a boomer and doesn't know how to use a computer and blow them away. And like, I'll pay 15 grand for that website or whatever. So it's definitely a cool cycle.
well, and
That's pretty. Sorry, go ahead, Brennan.
I was just going to say that tech isn't going away, right? We've seen how much companies have dumped into AI infrastructure, and I think right now it's at a lull, like a kind of maybe a plateau until some of the energy infrastructure catches back up. But it's not going anywhere. And so if you start now, you're going to grow with it, and you're going to understand it a lot better and make your life easier. Who knows? In 10 years, you might have a Jarvis style assistant living in your home that can help you build whatever you need. You know, your hose breaks and you need an adapter, stuff like that. So it may sound the hacker platform may sound anticlimactic, but I think it's going to be one of the most valuable skills moving forward as far as your personal freedom and being able to do some of the tech things that you want to do.
Yeah, your dad's very much like you need to learn it or get run over by it, basically.
Yeah, I think that's true, and it's pretty cool that you've been using it, Brendan. It's cool to hear because I don't know anyone personally who's actually used the no code stuff.
Mm.
So the fact that you're using it for TJM
You should see what he
right
built,
now,
dude. It's incredible. Over a weekend.
What is it exactly that you built for TJM?
Yeah, so the one we wanted to update, it started out like as a website update. We were using HubSpot to host and build our website that way. And so I downloaded Windsurf, which is an IDE similar to Cursor and some of these other ones. And I just started, talking to it like I would any other AI and building the website. And then I realized, man, all this traffic is coming into here. We could be tracking all of our customer contacts and building a custom sale, essentially a sales funnel where each of our companies that come in, we can assign them a phase, and each phase has a task they have to complete. So it helps them get onboarded on the platform and helps us keep track of where everyone's at. And it kept building from there. And at one point, we like to share trainings and jobs that we find on other platforms on TJM, again, just to be a nice central resource. But Tyler and I don't have the time to, fill out a bunch of information on our platform and post it. So I made it to where we can just take a screenshot or a file, upload it, and AI analyzes it, pulls out all the data I want, makes a nice card. Like, I just automated a bunch of things, and I never thought it was possible. Even 2 months ago, I didn't think this was going to be what it is today. And it's a little bit of a dopamine hit, and just kept rolling.
Yeah.
So
Well, helps us bring content to the users too. I sat there for a couple hours the other night just finding wildland fire trainings and made it so much faster. I was able to upload like 200 trainings that are coming your way on the Journeyman. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to show you one of these times. We'll hop on a call, and it's been fun.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
For sure. I'd love to see it, honestly. How far the Journeyman has come, because I remember when you guys first introduced it back in 2024, and I remember the paramedic I was with was telling everybody about it, and it's cool to see how far it's come from what it was back then.
Yeah.
So
It's
looking
been a
forward to
blast.
it. Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
we appreciate that, man. Hopefully you get to use it in 2026 to get out on some wildfires. Are you going to take a cycle off to work on wildland, or are you going to just...
Yeah, I'm going to make it a huge priority to do that this next year because I don't know why, but the EMT skills are one of the skills that I really do not want to lose, and I just want to keep improving as much as possible over all the other skills, honestly. I don't know why, but so I want to make it a high priority.
Well, it's good to hear. You do lose them.
You do. And I mean, you mentioned wanting to come to the REMS training. One of the REMS trainings, I think once you go through that, it'll be like any other cycle you've gone through where it's super uncomfortable at first. And then by the end of it, you just have so much confidence. And ropes is a great skill to learn. Whether it is self-rescue, rescuing someone else.
Even just everyday knots. Like I find myself like tying rescue knots and everyday, taking a load of shit to the dump.
Yep.
Like whatever, you know how to use a rope.
It's a tool that's been around
It's a man skill for sure.
Yeah, thousands of years we've had rope. You better learn how to use it.
Definitely. And I remember there was the one picture posted on TJM of that REMS rescue of that one hot shot off the side of the mountain Minuteman rescue.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, to
It
actually
happened.
see that, it's crazy.
Well, Max,
So,
it's been fun. Thank you for your time. We are going to be following Max's adventures.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see Max
the
a lot
preparation.
on Spiked Out.
Maybe after every cycle we meet up, because we're 100% going to have to hear about how you got your ass kicked in Thailand a bunch of times. So
yeah, for sure.
And maybe, I don't know, I've talked to Tyler a little bit about this. We'll hopefully get to a point where we can maybe join you on one of these and do an in-person while we're all going through it. You know, that'd be fun.
That would honestly make my year.
Yeah.
That would make my year.
I think the cooking one in Italy, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Heavy equipment.
Oh, for sure.
Whatever. But
Yeah, I think the being in Florida and doing the heavy equipment operator course together would kind of not be the best thing to do as a group one,
Yeah.
you know.
No, we'll find a good group one. But yeah, we'll keep up with you. We always appreciate you coming on. Really quick, you want to list off where people can find your Substack, the preparation book. Just I know we mentioned it in the first episode, but I want to keep pushing it out there.
Sure, I appreciate it. You can find the book on Amazon, and we have an audiobook version, as well as a Kindle version, hardback and softcover. And I guess if you want to follow along with what I'm doing, you can go to maximsmith.com, and that will lead you to my Substack page. And then thepreparation.com is the preparation specific Substack page. And I think that's it. But I really do appreciate you guys, and it's always great to see you guys. 100%.
Likewise.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
keep up the good work, dude.